you told me right away, that playoff loss stung, we don't want to do it again.
Yeah.
How are you not going to do it again, basically?
Well, we've been practicing really hard, and I feel like we're ready. We've worked really, really hard in the early mornings and the late practices. I feel like they've prepared us as best as we can, and we've been scrimmaging our JV boys, and so they've been super helpful, and they're kind of like a team that we could see like athletic-wise first round, and so that's really helped us, and I think it will help us, and so I think that's just we're ready for it.
And then as a leader of this team, do you talk about with your teammates who maybe didn't experience it or didn't get to play, do you talk about like that loss stung, or do you just put it out of y'all's mind completely?
Yeah, so actually yesterday we had a really good practice, and it was fun, the energy was great, and I actually talked to one of my teammates, and I was like, you never want to feel the feeling that we felt last year. Like, it sucks, and so I've really told all of them, really all the returners know, we know what it feels like, and we were there for each other, and we know like how horrible it is and how we don't experience it again. And so I've kind of instilled in our sophomores and our freshmen, like our younger girls and our juniors who weren't on varsity last year, I've really told them like, I don't want y'all to experience what we felt last year, and so they know how bad it hurt, and so they don't want it either.
You know, this program, y'all are prepared, like you almost expect playoffs. Y'all have done it multiple years in a row. How do you think that experience is going to help you?
I think we know exactly. After last year, we kind of went in and we were like, we're the first team. The fourth team is not as good as us, and so we went in with a bigger head than we should have, and we thought that we had the first win, but we didn't. And so I think last year like humbled us and put us in a place this year that we know we have to work just as like harder than last year, and we know this year that the team that we're playing, Palo Duro, they're good and they've had competition, and so we know that we have to play to their level and play better and play like Wylie play, like the Bulldogs play.
And you talk about humbleness, but at the same time, you won district back-to-back years. You went undefeated in district back-to-back years. At the same time, how did that confidence help you?
So winning district, it's a great feeling, and it's awesome, and so it helps us with confidence and knowing that we're good enough and that we can do it. We just, with not having as good of competition in our district, we know that it's going to be harder for us first round than most teams it is. For the fourth seed in that district, that's a really good district, and so they play great competition, and we're not used to that. And so the confidence that we have from winning district can only take us so far. We still have to play as hard as we can, and so we will, and we'll do everything we can to win.
And you talk about scrimmaging the JV boys.
Yeah.
What's the vibe like there? Like, what experience are you gaining from that each time you scrimmage them?
Yeah, so the boys, they're way more athletic than us, and they're really good, and they help us a lot. We don't really see athleticism like that anywhere in our district, and so playing them helps us a lot, and we do make a ton of mistakes when we play with them, but it is like, it grows our confidence knowing that we can score against them and we can play with them. We just have to play calm and collected and trust each other and move the ball, and so that's exactly what we're going to have to do in playoffs.
What do you think just are the keys to winning against Palo Duro?
I think we're going to have to play as a team more than anything, and we're going to have to trust each other and count on each other. I think the hardest thing is that they have competition, we don't. They're prepared for this, and we're a little bit less prepared. But I think the work that we've put in is way more than they have, and so we're ready for it. And I think if we work together and we count on each other and trust each other, then I think it'll be a great game.
And then I think the difference between y'all and a lot of teams, y'all's bench is just so deep. How important is that going to be in playoffs?
So at first, at the beginning of the season, it wasn't so fun having this many girls on varsity, but now we've all become like sisters. Like, we are so close, and it's been the most fun season ever, and I truly believe everything happens for a reason, and so I think that us all being on a team together and being there for each other this season especially was so meant to be, and we are all like so close. There's not one of us that isn't as close with each other, and so the bench like just keeps everyone. They're like Energizer bunnies, and we feed off of each other, and it's so much fun. And so I think for first round that's going to be so important. We're just going to feed off of each other, and we're going to just, if anything, just have so much fun together and make memories.
How much more prepared are y'all this time around than last year?
I think mentally we're a lot more prepared. We kind of know what's coming. We know that district didn't prepare us as well as like they prepared during district. I mean, they faced some of the toughest teams in the state, and so they're definitely physically prepared, but I think mentally we're more prepared of like knowing like going in, we're having a lot bigger of a barrier. Like, but I think mentally we're more prepared to like face that, and we know what's coming.
And same thing, beginning of the season, y'all told me how close you are, and Kamryn just told me just how close y'all are. No one feels left out. How important is that going to be in playoffs?
I think it plays a big factor. Like, we all trust each other. We're all there for each other to lift each other up, and I think that that's going to be huge. And the fact of, like, when things aren't going good or when they are going good, like, we're there for each other and we're there to lift each other up.
And then, you went 8-0 in district 2 years in a row. You won district 2 years in a row. How important is that confidence going to be?
I think it's huge going into the playoffs, knowing that, like, we're winners. Like, we don't have to be scared of facing, like, good competition. Like, we're winners. We know what it takes to win, and we can do it.
And then at the same time, though, now it's 0-0, like Coach said, like new season basically. How do you kind of push back the rest of the district in your mind, and now it's brand new season?
I think just remembering like all the work we put in throughout the whole season. Like, yes, it's 0-0, but also we've built like so much confidence, so much team chemistry throughout the whole season. Like, this is our time to perform. This is our time to go out and shine and like show everyone what we've worked for.
All three seniors, none of y'all are playing in college, right? Okay, that's what I thought from where y'all are going.
Yeah.
How important is that? Like, this is the last ride for y'all. Will you be thinking about that as you play, or is it like after when we can celebrate?
No, yeah, I think it's definitely like something that's in the back of my mind. I mean, last year we had no seniors, so it was kind of like, well, it's the same team again, and I don't think it really felt like as much pressure. But like this year, it's like, this is all I have left. Like, I'm gonna leave everything out on the floor.
And then how much of a threat is that? Like, this is y'all's last ride for other teams?
Yeah, I think it kind of gives us a little bit of an edge, like a team that's been together for 2 years, and like this is some of ours last time to play ever. I think it just gives us a little bit of a push to be like, we're going to go and get it done.
When I first talked to you earlier this season, y'all all told me about how much that, loss in the first round really stung. How much more prepared are y'all this time around than last year?
I feel like we're going into this year with a better mentality than we did last year. I felt like last year we just had a mentality like, we kind of blew it off. I felt like we just thought it was just another game. But I feel like this year we're a lot more prepared, like mentally and like in practice, like we're like mentally locked in and everything. We're ready to go.
And you're a big leader of this team. As a leader, do you talk about, hey, this game's different? Or are you just more like, it's every other?
I try to keep the mentality like it's just another game, and that we just need to get our work done early, and so we don't have to worry about it when it becomes daytime and we're having to like freak out.
And then y'all won district back-to-back years, went undefeated in district back-to-back years. How will that confidence help you in playoffs?
I definitely think it helps a lot of our younger girls, like with the idea of like, we got this, like we did our job, and let's just continue on to playoffs.
Your coach just told me that, yes, it helps give you confidence, but at the same time, you felt like maybe last year y'all fed into that a little bit more. Mm-hmm. How do you, again, erase this season? He said y'all are 0-0 now. How do you start with that? Like, it's a brand new season.
I guess just kind of thinking, because I know preseason we had a few tough games, and we just weren't mentally prepared there. So I felt like going into an 0-0 and just thinking new year, like going into this game, we just have to be mentally there. And I think a lot of our girls can handle that for sure.
And then y'all are the 1 seed playing a 4 seed. Mm-hmm. You might think, okay, that team's not as good, but they're a good team. How do you get that point across to your teammates?
Me and the other seniors have definitely talked to these other girls, saying like, even though like we are number 1 seed playing against a 4 seed team, like they had to fight their way to make playoffs, just like how we had to fight. So it's definitely going in to be it's going to be a good game for sure.
And then just what are you most excited for in playoffs?
I'm definitely excited that a bunch of our younger girls get to experience this, and I'm excited to share this experience with them as a senior, and I'm like glad I get to do it as a team with them.
And then playoffs are kind of the standard here now. Y'all done it multiple years in a row. What's the difference though between this team and maybe years prior of why you might have more success?
I feel like years prior, our team was good, but I feel like we just didn't have a lot of people who really cared. But I feel like this team, we all care for each other. We all want the best for each other, and that's what's gonna help us throughout this year.
And then what do you think the keys are to beating Palo Duro?
I think definitely talking on defense for sure, putting our shots in, and communicating with each other and keeping a good attitude. Because I know last year, like, whenever we made a mistake against Plainview, we definitely fed into that, and we just let, like, a negative energy, like, tear us down. So I think just keeping a good attitude and everything.
Girls, beginning of the season, they all told me just how much that playoff loss last season stung. How much more prepared are y'all this time around?
I think a lot more prepared. I think our preseason, whether it's the summer stuff we did or the fall or tournaments, I think in the back of the mind they thought about that playoff loss the whole time, and just that these games would matter come right now in February and March. And so hopefully they're ready to go.
Do you see them draw on that experience a little bit, or are they just kind of pushed out of their mind completely?
I think it's in the back of their mind. I don't think we talk about it ever, or they think about it every day, but I think it's just a reminder of, hey, if you don't show up, you can get beat first round. And so hopefully they're just ready to prepared and ready to play.
And then y'all won district 2 seasons in a row, undefeated in district 2 seasons in a row. How much will that confidence help y'all in the playoff run?
I think it's great for confidence, like you said, but it's not like last year. It didn't help us win that game, and just hopefully they get confidence from it. But I think this year we are a lot better of playing our standard of basketball throughout district. It wasn't about wins and losses. It's about just playing the right way all the time. And I think we did that.
And you have such a strong group of senior leaders.
Yeah.
Have they kind of changed their leadership style going into playoffs, or same old, same old?
I think those three do a good job of keeping it relaxed, but also that we got to take care of business. And I think last year we were maybe a little bit too relaxed, and I think this year they're more focused on the details of what it's going to take to win.
And what are the keys to beating Palo Duro?
They're really athletic and well-coached team, so just rebounding I think will be important, taking care of the ball, and just being physical.
And then what have you seen on Palo Duro just in general on tape?
They're young, but they're really athletic. They're scrappy, they're long. They can play inside and outside, and so they're just a really well-rounded team.
They're in a pretty tough district. How do you think y'all's district has prepared y'all for playoffs?
Yeah, I think their district is brutal, and so every night is something tough for them. I think our district prepared us in that we saw different looks, whether it was a zone, a 1-2-2, a 1-3-1, 2-3 man. I think we saw it all in district, and so hopefully that makes us well-versed and just ready for anything.
And then, they're the 4th seed in their district, have a couple losses, less than or more than y'all.
Yeah.
Do you talk about that at all, of like, hey, they might not look what you think like, but they're good, or is it just they know what to expect?
I think they know what to expect. I think last year I think our girls maybe overlooked those things, and that maybe winning district or your record matters. But right now everybody's 0-0. It's a clean slate, and so it's just about who's going to show up for 32 minutes.